Okay, we're not going to see a ton like this, but I want you to know that they do exist. Number 5 is when you're given two equations that aren't in a form, meaning your x's aren't lined up, your y's and your numbers, like number 3, right? We had the x's, the y's, and the numbers all lined up. Number 5 does not look like that. So this requires a little bit of an extra step. We need to get the x's and the y's to the left and the numbers to the right just to stay consistent. So I'm going to do some side work because I know some of you like to see the work done out. So I'm going to take that first equation and I need to get the x and the y value to the left-hand side. So first I'll add the x. I'll show every single step. So I get x equals 3 minus 4/5 y. Now I got to get the y over. So I'm going to add 4/5 y. So you have 3 equals x plus 4/5 y. So we'll come back to that in a minute. I know we don't like fractions, and it just so happens that's just the equation I picked. Now we will do the second equation, and we are going to get x and y on the same side. So I'm going to add 4x. So I have this here. Now I'm going to add 9y. And I have 4x plus 9y equals 12. Okay? So on another piece of paper, I'm sorry I didn't leave myself enough room, I'm going to rewrite the two equations that I have. X plus 4/5 y equals 3, and 4x plus 9y equals 12. Again, this is number 5, and it required more work because the x's and the y's were not lined up, and neither were the numbers. So now I need to look and say, well, which variables can I cancel out? So I am going to try to get rid of the x's. I'm going to get rid of my x's. This is a 1. I need to turn it into the opposite number of 4. I'm going to multiply by -4. Why? 1 times -4 is -4, and -4 will cancel out with 4. So here we go. -4 times 1x is -4x. I know a lot of us don't like fractions, but you can do it. So now you're going to do 4/5 times -4. And that gives you, you can leave it as a decimal, that's okay, -3.2y equals -4 times 3 is -12. I'm going to rewrite the second equation because I didn't do anything to it. Okay, remember you're adding. -4x and 4x cancel out. And then you're doing -3.2 plus 9. That's going to give you positive 5.8y. And -12 plus 12 is 0. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 5.8. 0 divided by 5.8 is 0. So that means you just found the y value of your answer. Now, do we have to go through this all again to find x? We've talked about that before. The answer is no. And I know that a lot of us don't like to deal with fractions, so I'm going to choose the second equation to find x. So I'm going to have 4x plus 9 times my y, which is 0, equals 12. So I have that. So really, it's just 4x equals 12. You're going to divide both sides by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. I just found the x of my answer is 3, 0. I'd like to make a side note that Mrs. Brady and myself are trying to give you problems where you will not be getting decimal answers, meaning decimals in your ordered pairs. So if you are getting some crazy answers, you probably did something wrong along the way. We're trying to make these problems work out really nice for you and not be very complicated, so do keep that in mind.